As you know, violence is escalating in Iraq as bombs rock the heart of Baghdad. 28 dead of recent count. This comes as a senior Iraqi official signals Al-Qaeda's forces are on the rise, claiming the terror group has the weapons that are, listen to this quote, huge in advance and frankly enough to occupy Baghdad. So is the threat of an Al-Qaeda-controlled Baghdad a real possibility? And what is the threat to America and our obligation, if any? Rourke Denver was a former Navy SEAL in charge of SEAL Team 3 during Operation Iraqi Freedom and the author of this, Damn Few, making the modern SEAL, the making of the modern SEAL warrior. Rourke, you were there a few times. Now the action is back there. The killing is resumed there. What are your thoughts?
I think the operators on the ground, the folks that worked in that part of the region, know what we did in our window of time, that small window of time that we operated there. We taught that host nation and the local military units to be able to fight this type of fight. Hard to teach them the will. So we'll see what they do moving forward.
And the reason they say that this is happening again is because the Shia-led government has done nothing but alienate the Sunnis in that region, even after you showed them the how and the why.
Yeah, and the focus of the U.S. military, particularly at our level, was really the ground troops. It was the X's and O's of how to prosecute targets and manage the battle space. It becomes senior leadership and political leadership that's going to be the will to move that country forward.
It seemed that the president was intimating in his recent article in the New Yorker that there's a difference between the core Al-Qaeda, as we're hearing now, and bin Laden, and the Al-Qaeda that are JV in that area. And here's the quote. The analogy we use around here sometimes, and I think it's accurate, is if you put the JV teams on Laker uniforms, that doesn't mean they're Kobe Bryant. And we just talked about this 5 minutes ago. What are your thoughts? Were you going against the JV?
I mean, it's interesting to play with words, but I mean, I know every varsity player usually started JV. So the folks that even if they were on that level are your future, top performers. But I don't think a good competitor, and we feel ourselves that way on the battlefield, thinks of their opponent that way.
I hear that the Shia government is not even wanted in that region by the tribesmen there who don't want Al-Qaeda there. So they're beginning to give arms to the the non-Al-Qaeda tribesmen to out the terrorist group that's infected that area. Is that going to be an effective strategy in the Ramadi-Fallujah that you left?
This is the complexity of these problems. You have tribalism in some of its most base forms running through what we see as a political structure. And so when those worlds collide, you have a lot of issues. You have a lot of problems.
How did there's also said by one of the Iraqi leaders that America has a moral obligation to not abandon Iraq now. And John Kerry says we'll do everything short of putting troops in there. What do you think our obligation is? Just you as Rourke Denver.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you wonder how far American reach and our stewardship of what we hope is as best a free world as we can make it can go. And we spent a good amount of time and cost and blood and money in that part of the world, gave them a step into hopefully a brighter future. It's theirs to take it the rest of the way. We can't be everywhere at one time.
True. And what are your thoughts that you fought so hard and had so much success in Fallujah and Ramadi, and it's having so much trouble now?
It's difficult to watch in the sense that you see teammates that didn't come home or didn't come home alive fighting for that type of engagement. That being said, as a warrior, if you hung your hat on the long run, you'd be in a tough line of work. You wouldn't have the spirit to go.
So what you guys did, you showed America didn't want the oil, didn't want the dominance, didn't want the colony. What we did is showed them how to fight and showed them how to vote. And basically your sense is you're proud of what you did, you're proud of what you accomplished.
100%. Conventional forces up through special operation forces, unbelievable performance on the battlefield. We got them ready. It's theirs to run with.
Right, Rourke, congratulations on the book, and thanks so much for what you giving to the country. It's called The Damn Few, Making the Modern SEAL Warrior. Thanks a lot, Rourke.
Appreciate it.
Okay.